What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 46 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, man?
Players Cup 3 is what's happening right now.
When this comes out,
it'll have already
qualifiers will have been done. But it technically starts tonight for us, here in about 45 minutes. So by the time we're done recording this, it'll be starting. So,
so we've got, I think we've got 8 teams from people, 9 teams from people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 teams. Yeah. Plus, I don't even have yours up here.
Well, we talked about mine last week, right?
I technically have 10 because 2 people are playing the same team.
And we talked about Navir's last week.
Yeah.
Because it's the laddering team this week, which, if you haven't checked that out, it has been a blast to play. As of recording, the team should have been undefeated, but I'm really bad at what I do. So, definitely put myself in some positions that probably shouldn't have been, but, whatever. It's fine.
It happens. We also had all of our drafts the week before. Yeah,
we finally had all of our drafts done for Draft League. Really looking forward to Evan, one of our fantastic, amazing mods, streamed a 4.5-hour tier list video of him going over every team and ranking it appropriately.
Yeah. I think it was ranged from interesting to terrifying, and it was based on tools they had that were just normal Pokemon, like VGC tools. Their 2-mon combos, which like what leads are powerful, what do they have based on that stuff. And then I think there was just the overall preparation factor, like what do your opponents have to prep for? What are your big weaknesses? What are your big advantages and things like that? So it ranges from terrifying to kind of scary.
I think it's terrifying, kind of scary, good.
Let's just bring it up here.
Solid and interesting.
We can just bring it up here. Let me find
let's. Just start with this since you're literally pulling it up as we speak. Yeah, terrifying, kind of scary, good, not too bad, and interesting. Honestly, I may be a little biased, but I think I'm ranked a little too low.
I think I'm too high.
See, what's interesting is I believe all of the Evolto players ended up with Comfey, except for me.
Yeah, you're the one without Comfey.
But I still have Sylveon, so I can do weakness policy shenanigans if I want to.
I'm the one without Blastoise.
Yeah, so 3 of the 4 have Blastoise, 3 of the 4 have Comfey. Yet all of them are ranked above me, I think.
I think Lapras honestly is scarier than Blastoise for just specifically Draft League. Blastoise has been picking up in popularity for VGC just in general because it's a bulky water type. Cannonade's really good,
and it lines up against Cold really, really well as well.
But Lapras is good in Draft Leagues because it's just extra bold. Adding Aurora Veil into a G-Max move is really, really good.
It's already extremely hard to KO as well. Yeah. To be able to one-shot while it's Dynamaxed while ignoring what his partner's doing. The fact that your partner also has to be taken into effect. If you have Grimmsnarl Lapras, well, how do you beat that?
Yeah, exactly.
If you have Fake Out plus Lapras, probably not getting off what I wanted to this game. Probably going to end up dead.
Yeah, how do you get through all that stuff? I was going to pull up my draft and your draft here.
So we can actually talk about them now?
Your teams. Yeah, now that we're done with this. I'll just minimize that thing.
So, mine.
So, your draft team.
It's great. I love my team.
So, you got Yveltal, Blastoise, Incineroar, Garchomp, Sylveon, Serena, Raikou, Registeel, Cloyster, Rhydon.
Yep. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The one thing I feel like I'm missing is a Trick Room setter because both Registeel and Rhydon can potentially do wonders inside of Trick Room
things. Yeah, and if you had gotten that Comfey instead of Sylveon,
you would have. I think that's a big difference. But Comfey, I believe went first round if I remember correctly. Comfey went first round in my draft.
I can look.
It was Sync. Second round.
Second round Comfey pick, which that's about where I expected it to go. I didn't expect to pick mine up where I did.
Yeah, you got it way
I got it late. I got it real late. I just let it kept going. I got it round 5. So I was pick 5, round 5. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't drafted when we recorded the last episode. My draft ended up being Yveltal, Lapras, Landorus Incarnate, Comfey, Serena, Magnezone, Blaziken, Thwackey, Aggron, and then I drafted Regigigas last because Comfey had Worry Seed, and I can do Regigigas Comfey things. Plus, it's just another axis that my opponents have to actually plan for. Like, you can't just plan for Lapras, Yveltal, Comfey things. You have to plan for what if he goes Regigigas.
Yep, which is really interesting because you also dropped Aggron for Swoobat.
Yeah, I dropped Aggron for Swoobat, who has Super Beam, and it's base 114 speed.
114, 110, 115, somewhere in there.
So it's easily fast.
Triple digits for sure. And it's just like, all right, well, time to Simple Beam.
Gigas. That was what was important. It's faster than base speed Gigas is 100. So we're faster than Gigas.
Which, granted, when you bring it out, it's going to be 50.
Yeah.
Because you haven't changed his ability yet, but...
Which is why it's not a problem. You can run both max speed, Comfey, and Gigas at the same time, and your Comfey is always going to go first no matter what after it.
Yep. So what's super sweet about that is now not only do you have the Yveltal angle, but you also have the Lapras angle with Comfey. Like, Comfey works with both of them.
Like, the Super Series 6 team was... I wanted Goodra, but Goodra got taken right before me. After I grabbed Serena, I was going to grab Goodra and then grab Magnezone as my last B pick, but Goodra got taken right before I got to take Magnezone. So,
and then you add in the Gigas angle too. It's just like, man, there's a lot to worry about here.
Yeah, there's a lot of just like, here's these 2 Mons. Can you beat these 2? Okay, but what if he doesn't bring these 2? Can you beat these 2 or those 2? Or that pair.
Yeah, you have multiple 2-part pairings that just go really well together. And I mean, to an extent, I do too.
Yeah.
If you want to switch back over to mine
that's the cool part about having Yveltal as your restricted. It's like Yveltal gets Tailwind. It gets Sucker Punch. It gets to do the support roll if it's not going to be able to do it like a damage roll. Or it can be bulky weakness policy and you just blow everybody up because you have amazing special attack and attack.
So what's super great about this is, like, going back to what Cybertron has been doing, there was a video, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago now, where he played with Assault Vest Registeel. No, it wasn't Assault Vest, I lied. Because it had Iron Press. It had
Iron Body,
yeah,
Iron Defense and Body Press.
Thank you.
Iron Press.
I knew what I meant, kind of, sort of, not really. But it was just a super fantastic in-game sweeper because once you take care of something like Urshifu, well,
there's nothing to check it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing is like once you clear out specifically Urshifu that always crits you, Registeel just kind of cleans up.
Yeah.
Like there's very few things that can sit in front of it and actually deal damage to it while it's chipping you down.
Which, in your pool, that would be Incineroar. Incineroar is owned by you. Garchomp would be another one owned by you. Whoever drafted Urshifu. Powerdad.
Adam has Rapid Strike. Powerdad has Single Strike.
Albert has Rapid Strike, non-G-Max.
And that's it.
And no one drafted Single Strike, non-G-Max. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. We only have 2.
You have 2 out of the 4 gone?
2 out of the 4 gone in line. So, one of my big weaknesses is fighting and then rock and electric, but I think Landorus cleans up a lot of that for me, just in general. Having this special attacking Landorus, just like, oh, you want to try and do something? Well, Yveltal sets Tailwind, blow you up.
And that's the thing is, yeah, that, like, Landorus Incarnate does have this highest special attack of all the ground types in the game. Its attack is still higher.
Yeah, its attack is still higher than that, which is, you can run Sand Force Physical Landorus if you want to.
You can run Sheer Force Physical. I don't know how good it would be, but you can.
I think you'd rather be Stand Force. You get Earthquake plus Sandstorm.
I'm actually interested in what its physical moveset looks like with Sheer Force.
It's not very good.
That's what I figured. But
I know that one, but that's why you run Sand Force instead, and you get to do like Rock Slide, Earthquake, Fly. Special gets Sludge Bomb, Earth Power.
Let's see.
Focus Blast?
We have Iron Tail, Rock Slide.
I think that's it.
Body Slam.
Oh, there you go.
I'm officially out of moves.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I want to run physical, I think I'd rather have Sand Force, just because once I set sand, I get to just...
Well, here's the thing, is now you're going to need 2 Gigases. 2 Landos, so you can have regular and hidden ability.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's literally whatever anymore.
I can borrow one from someone.
Well,
I'm the only person who has Lando in this entire draft. I don't think Lando Therian got drafted at all.
Can you pull that up?
Lando Therian just got avoided this entire way through. Yeah, it did.
Talking about S tier bonds here, things that no one is gonna have to deal with. Tapu Fini.
40 on 2.
1 Glastrier.
Amoonguss isn't on there. 1 Kanto Zapdos. 1 Moltres Galar.
1 Eliki.
No Celesteela.
No Rotom Heat.
Oh gosh.
No Nihilego. And then you look at stuff no Dracofish. No Sandfish today.
Which I was surprised. It's hard to draft Sandfish when Tyranitar.
Yeah, when both Tyranitar and Dracofish are both
the same
S tier. But then you have Gigalith, which is also just fine. I think actually Gigalith is super undervalued. Seeing how 0 people drafted Gigalith, even though it is an A tier, it's fine. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Having access to 2 A tiers is just do you really want to devote 1 to something like Gigalith when you also have something access to Rotom Wash or Mamoswine or Tapu Lele? Really interesting that 4 out of 4 Leles were drafted.
Yeah.
Talking about things that you really I didn't anticipate. Mons that don't see play in VGC. Lele.
Yeah, Lele's one that you don't see very often. 4 of 4 Goodras got picked up.
4 of 4 Raikos.
Yeah. These are Pokemon you don't see very often in VGC formats, and they actually just do things in Draft League because a lot of their weaknesses are removed because there's only 1 of them. There's only 1 Dragon Ball. There's only 1 Lando. There's only 1 Garchomp, and things like that.
The only C tier Pokemon, if I'm seeing this correctly, that every pod has, Ditto.
Yeah, that's it.
Am I missing something?
The idea there is you get to copy restricted Pokemon with Ditto. So you end up with 2 restricteds. It can be worth it.
Sure.
It can be worth it when the format's revolving around drafting these strong, powerful restricted tier mons.
Looking at the restricted tier mons, there's a bunch of them that no one wanted to touch there either. Honestly, nothing really surprising. No Rayquazas, which I'm not really surprised by.
I had a line for Rayquaza, and I thought about audibling if Yveltal got taken early, but they let Zacian fall to 4, so that means Yveltal fell to 5.
Yep.
So I'm I have to take Yveltal.
That's exactly what happened with me. I drafted
I can't not let it go past me.
I think I drafted it 4 or 5. I can't remember now, but yeah, Yveltal fell, so I'm just gimme.
I had a line where I draft Rayquaza round 1, and then I go through and I grab really strong combo Raikou and Incineroar just to eliminate all the special attackers in the game.
And I honestly think not enough people are valuing that combination, which is why when I saw that Raikou was still on the board, I'm just okay, give me. I want that one, please.
Raikou went early in my group. Raikou, I think, went around 3. If I remember right. Raikou was early. I know that much.
Round 1?
Round 1, yeah. Raikou went super early.
Man.
Which, that might have something to do with the fact that I had been preaching it up,
hyping it up
for so long.
Yeah, but if you go look at my group, how late did I get it?
Round 6.
Yeah, see?
I didn't have a lot of... There were people who hadn't drafted the restricted one until like round 7 or 8.
Which, I'm not surprised, man.
They took our advice to heart. They were, if you didn't get the restricted one you wanted, like, it was just...
Just let it fall.
You could just wait.
And, talking with a couple of different people, specifically Ro, he was really high on Dialga.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, dude, it went undrafted in mine. It's going to fall. You can let it fall. It will.
Yeah, get more powerful stuff.
And then I think he said, he's like, well, I'm going to take it in the 3rd if it's there. Like, that seems great, actually.
Yeah, that seems like a perfectly fine choice.
And I'm pretty sure he sniped it from Mafia.
Yeah, 100%. 100% what happened. So now they're
from my understanding, Mafia was not very happy.
Yeah, so now they're feuding. So, getting out of these, we're going to go look at the overall picture here. Tier lists here. Because I believe Ro ended up in good. Mafia ended up also in good. So it's just like sniping that pick from Mafia didn't affect his draft too terribly much. But like there's your group's kind of lopsided here. You have a lot of good, and then like it's bell curved around the one terrifying and a couple not too bad, a couple interesting. Whereas the crown group is not so much bell curved. It's kind of all up in the top end.
Yeah.
I called that the scary group when I built it because it was just like 2 champions and a bunch of our normal players and our veteran players. So they're scary. And their drafts are all very powerful. I believe Zeno is the Yveltal player in that group.
Yes.
He's the one who drafted Yveltal. Which, funny enough, Jiggly is the Yveltal player in his group. He's also up in Terrifying.
Which is why I'm just like, bruh, why you gotta do me dirty?
So, I remember I was watching it. Evan wanted to put me in Terrifying, but because I didn't have the support for Gigas, they put me down in Kind of Scary. Which... After that, after swapping for Swoobat, I want to see what they think now because swapping for Swoobat means I have a very fast way of getting another way of getting slow start off of Gigas. So I want to see if that fixes it or if they really want me to have that Weezing because I feel like the Weezing lead is super predictable. And
agreed. I think Weezing isn't actually good for
draft. Like it's just not good for draft. You want to be able to get rid of it and keep it gone even if they target down your other side. Like, Gigas on its own, if they want to focus down Gigas is going to trade 1 for 1, 1
At
for 2,
least
1 for 3 every time if they try to focus it down because it's just got so much bulk. Whereas, once you get that Simple Beam or that Worry Seed off, you can take out the Swoobat. I don't care.
What's actually really interesting about, like, Simple Beam plus Gigas is, like, then you just start firing off Max Knuckles.
Oh, yeah, you get plus 2.
Like, this is really, really scary all of a sudden.
Yeah. Like, it can get scary real fast. You can fire off Max Quakes and get plus 2 special defense.
Does he get Steel Spike?
I believe he does.
I believe he gets Iron Head.
I'm pretty sure it's Iron Head.
It's like,
so there's a plus 2 defense there, and that gets scary.
The downside of that is your opponent can Max Darkness whatever your partner is, and then you're -2.
Yeah.
It's like, So or even just like a single Max Strike from like PZ into your partner, and now your speed's back to where you were.
Yeah.
Luckily you still have your attack boost, but
yeah. So it's just like looking at stuff like that. So going through this, one person in Sword made it into the Terrifying group. Paris. I'm not sure what their draft was. Was it the scary one? I think this is probably the Kyogre team in your group. If I remember correctly.
This was.
I would be surprised if this isn't Kyogre.
No, this is Xerneas.
Xerneas? Oh, okay. So they drafted a strong Xerneas team.
Xerneas, Venusaur, Indeedee, Charizard, Gyarados, Klefki, Noivern, Diggersby, Morpeko, and Gallade. So after we drafted, I talked to Jiggly about this team. I legitimately think this is the scariest team in our division.
For sure.
I'm glad to see that Evan also agrees with my assessment here. Because they have Prankster Sunny Day with Klefki.
Yep.
They have Fast Sunny Day with Noivern.
Yep.
I believe Gallade also gets access to Sunny Day.
Probably.
Like,
It has so many weird coverage moves.
There's 3 right there that have access to it. So you have this Suncore of Venusaur Charizard. It's like, well, obviously you need a Sunsetter. They have 3.
Yeah.
Then you're adding in Indeedee Xerneas to redirect plus whatever.
That's the real scary part of this, is if you plan for Sun and they just lead Indeedee Xerneas, you're just
Dead.
What do I do? I can't stop this. Help.
And, like, that's the thing is, like, normally your solution there is, like, just trick the Xerneas, take away the power herb, or mental herb. Yeah, the power herb is like, I can't do that with, 1, Psychic Terrain up. I can't Prankster trick you. 2, I can't do it with Follow Me Up. It's like,
whoever has Thwackey has an advantage against them.
Yep. Which is why I really, really, really wanted to trade for Thwackey.
Yeah. And I'm guessing that didn't happen.
Well, I wanted to draft Thwackey, and he got sniped from me. So
I drafted Thwackey really early too. Like that was like my big. I'm going to counter Indeedee.
I might be making a few calls this week to see if I can trade for Thwackey.
Yeah. Because
honestly, I don't have a solution to that. That is a core I do not have an answer to.
The good part is they kind of just like hard lose the trick room. Like
do they though? They have Diggersby.
Like that's it.
True.
That's the thing. That's it.
Gallade also gets imprisoned.
Yeah, like
so,
if they want to do that, they can do it that way. But then it's just like there's no pressure there. If they're running Gallade in prison on the front of it, Gallade is not the bulkiest thing in the world.
No, you are typically like focus sash Gallade.
Yeah, that's not an answer to stopping the trick room. That's just the waste of the turn.
Cloister just looks at it and goes, "All right, bang,
bang." Yeah, like,
nice focus sash, idiot.
That's why I'm just like, it doesn't do anything. But like that's just like a way to get around the Xerneas and DD lead is if they just like if that's what they have. If you just lead trick room, they have to respect it because then they kind of are just stuck in trick room. And Xerneas is probably the slowest thing on the field again at that point.
And the more I look at this, the less I like this on my team.
Like, so don't mind Carter. He's going to be making some trades here.
I probably am. If not trades, then probably some roster swaps.
So going through the rest of these, that was the only sword player. The shield players are Beppis, Jiggly, and Stevie. Jiggly was the Evolto Blastoise nonsense. I talked with Jiggly right after I drafted Lapras. He wanted Lapras in his group, but Lapras got sniped round 1.
So I actually was talking to Jiggly. I was in helping him while his draft was going on with the spreadsheet and stuff. And when I saw that he got Evolto and Blastoise, I just went, so Jiggly, we're like working together this season, right? And I just started laughing.
It's true. It's like, it's for some reason, Jiggly, myself, and Carter all managed to get Yveltal about mid-pack, and
I'm gonna take it, man.
Yeah, just grab it up. It's strong. It's a strong Pokemon. Having access to Tailwind is really good on your restricted because then your opponent's just like, are they playing the Tailwind game? Are they going to blow me up? Like, what are they doing here? That's the great part of what getting Comfey for this team means is Comfey can do Giga Drain on Blastoise and weakness policy Blastoise is a thing. Yep. Comfey can do weakness policy T-Tar things. Things like that. And Jiggly got T-Tar Excadrill in his group, along with Raikou, which is super scary.
Mm-hmm. Also has Tangela for Rage Powder shenanigans. Can get off a Shell Smash with Blastoise there. Also,
grabbed Wigglytuff instead of Jigglytuff because they didn't want to waste an A-tier slot for Jigglypuff.
Especially when you have Comfey and Excadrill. Like Comfey T-Tar is also just really good.
Yeah.
The fact that Comfey can trigger, 3 policies out of the top 3 bonds on his team, it's like, oh, okay.
That's what mine does.
Yep.
That was the design, that's what he was after. He wanted the Lapras to do that exact same thing. He wanted to be able to weakness policy set screens with Lapras if he needed to.
Who else we got in Terrifying?
So Beppis is this was the first hard Trick Room team I saw in the draft because your guys' draft.
Oh, this team is very good. Yeah,
this team is disgustingly strong. I would be surprised if Beppis doesn't take away the entire thing for Shield Group.
This team is insane.
Calyrex Ice, Snorlax, Indeedee Female, Alolan Marowak, Pheromosa, Bisharp, Jellicent, Delmice, Centiskorch, Hitmonlee.
Which Hitmonlee gets Fake Out.
Yep.
So, there's one way of making sure you get Trick Room up. Indeedee has Redirection, so there's another way. You have Pheromosa for Speed Swap.
Yep.
Which is just another way. Snorlax lets you get Belly Drum Indeedee off. Indeedee plus Belly Drum.
Yeah, Redirection plus Belly Drum. This is a very scary team.
And that's before we even talk about the sweepers of Calyrex, which can set it itself if need be.
Yeah.
Jellicent, which is just it's that weird mid tier where it's not great in Trick Room, but compared to what's going around it's good.
Alolan Marowak is the other big one there besides Delmice.
And Delmice.
Well, Delmice wasn't in the original draft. Delmice was actually Seismitoad.
Oh, I actually really like that swap.
Yeah.
That's a real
important swap because they were double watered up and had 0 grass coverage. So being able to pick up Delmice there is important. The last one in their group that's up near the top is Stevie D. Stevie D, this is a unique one. This is Ho-Oh as their restricted.
I believe this is the only Ho-Oh, too.
I believe so. So the specific list of this one is Ho-Oh, Rillaboom, Dragapult, Rotom Wash, Terrakion, Sneasel, Slowking, Galar, Magnezone, Jinx, and Slurpuff. So Slurpuff is cool. It was a pickup there after everything happened.
Yeah, originally had Persian,
Kanto
Persian, which they dropped for Slurpuff, which is actually great next to Rillaboom, because then you get Unburden.
Yeah, you can do Unburden strats. Slurpuff gets a lot of unique moves.
Really weird moves, man.
I think you said string. I think it's string
shot. It gets string shot. Why?
Because it's cotton candy. Spritzee is
stupid. That's the stupidest reason I have ever heard.
But the big thing here is they end up getting Dragapult, Terrakion, and Sneasel. These three all do beat up Justified things.
And not only that, it's just you have beat up Justified with Terrakion, but you can also just do Dragapult, Sneasel and be Weakness Pulse.
Yeah, in multiple ways in one.
Yeah, and then you could just be Terrakion Weakness Policy and just Ice Shard yourself.
It works with Rillaboom too.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of things going on here, and that's before we get to the lower tier picks of Slowking to mitigate the Intimidate, if that's the thing you're worried about. Magnezone, which is just a very good sweeper.
Magnezone Rillaboom is just a popular 2-mon combo, which is why it's having Thwackey on my team was important. Because I wanted the same thing. I didn't want to get drafted. I didn't want to draft S tier Rillaboom. I wanted the G-Max Rillaboom if it was going to be available, but it never came around to me, so that's why I drafted Lapras at the time.
And Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx is one of those popular C tier mons that's starting to pick up popularity here these past couple weeks.
Lovely Kiss is busted, man.
Lovely Kiss, Parasong. I think it has extra Trick Room. It does a lot of stuff.
I believe it gets Ice Shard as well.
So it's another weakness policy trigger.
It might be Ice Shard. I know it gets Ice Punch because that was its signature thing back in Gen 1.
Yeah.
Its attack was way higher than its special, if I remember correctly, or something weird like that.
Moving on to the Crown group, we're not going to talk about all these teams because there's 5 of them here, and then we have 3 sword teams, 3 armor teams after that.
I would love to talk about Xeno, but we've talked enough about.
We have
basically covered Xeno's, yours, mine, and Jiggly's team all in depth.
Yeah,
they're all the same team.
The other crowns are Red, Sever, Evan, and Swede. Evans is the team I want to talk about the most out of this group. Evan went into this as a dedicated Regigigas team.
Yeah.
So
this is terrifying.
He went hard Regigigas. Latios, Weezy-Galar, Regigigas, just those 3 right there are super scary. Latios having Simple Beam, being a base 120, I believe is the right weight 20 speed, so it's super fast. Not the fastest thing in the world, but it is super fast compared to, say, Swoobat, who's 114.
Yeah. The big thing about that is he's devoting both of his A-tier picks to setting up Gigas.
Yeah, Gigas is the big thing.
Which is good, that's fine. because like Solgaleo's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, of the like restricted mons, not the biggest fan of it, but it can do work. It's fine. But then you also have Butterfree with Rage Powder and Tailwind and Sleep Powder.
That's why.
Yeah, Evan did the classic strat of wait and see what's left on the restricted mons, because when there's 20 of them or whatever there is, they're gonna fall.
Yeah, they like round 1 and 2 they filled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9 of theirs.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah, all right, cool. We can let those fall now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did with my S tier. I just let it go. It was like S was just everybody took their S tiers like the first 2 rounds. It was like,
see, granted, mine was the complete opposite, where I'm just like, all right, I want Evoltal. Okay, Incineroar's still there. It was Evoltal, Blastoise, and Sin for me. Just like, okay, I want these picks. The fact that Incineroar is still on the board in the 3rd round concerns me. I'm taking this.
Yeah. Looking at theirs, Xeno had the option to draft Lapras before Swede did, but he drafted Blastoise instead.
Interesting.
So I don't know if he didn't want Lapras in that situation.
Well, he has Comfey, right? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Because everyone else besides me does.
Yeah, because his picks were literally the Voltal, Comfey, and then his 3...
Was Blastoise? No,
that's 4. His 3 was Togedemaru.
Sure.
So we got Lightning Rod, Comfey, and Yveltal, and he wanted the water type, so we grabbed Blastoise. Which that's like literally what's like how it's gonna fall anyway. But yeah, Evan's team is super strong. Red's team is the Zacian like Sun team. It's scary. So you got Zacian, Gmax, Venu, Dragapult, Rotom Wash, Volcarona, Klefki, Crocodile, Alolan Raichu, Spirit Tomb, and Starmie.
It upsets me that the Crocodile player doesn't also have Single Strike Urshifu to just guarantee anger point people.
Bam!
Because, man, I will tell you from Monotype League, when it's good, it is absolutely insane. I think I only did it once in Monotype League, but man, was it great.
The other teams here are Sever's team, which is a very strong Palkia team.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sweet's team, which is this kind of Trick Roomy kind of style thing.
Yeah, Trick Room plus Pheromosa. So, like, you also have extremely fast speed swap stuff, too. With Calyrex Ice. Yeah, Calyrex with Pheromosa and Trick Room, like, being able to do both of those is awesome.
Yeah. We drafted Steelix in this group, which is cool.
And Steelix is another really good mon that can sweep in Trick Room.
Yeah.
Especially
I used the heck out of it. Season 2, I think.
1 or 2. It's been a while, I know. I was thinking about this today. I think I've had Cloyster in every season that we've drafted.
That impressed you that much.
Dude, I absolutely love Cloyster. I know in season 2, I was going to take Wigglytuff, but it got sniped before me in like the last round. You're like, Carter, just take Cloyster. You know you like it. I'm like, all right, sure, fine, whatever. I'm taking Cloyster, and then it just smashed people.
Yeah.
So I am very glad to have my Cloyster back. This season, I'm actually going to get my own shiny instead of using the Japanese one that I've had forever.
Moving on to the armor group, out of all of these, CJ's team, the Sun team, is probably the scariest Sun team in the 4 groups. Specifically because they managed to get Groudon, Gmax, Cinderace, and then
Oh, good lord.
Cherim, Leafeon, Cobalion, Primarina, Male Meowstic, Dragalge, and Dracloak. And Regieleki. So the fun story here is me and CJ had a truce on S picks because we both picked our S's last.
It's like
I didn't he didn't want to pick mine, I didn't want to pick his, so we kind of just let him go, and we ended up drafting Regigigas, like boom boom.
Did you all know what the other one is?
No,
okay,
no. We just kind of just left him up. We had kind of like mentioned it. It's like I was gonna wait till the last pick mine anyway because I wanted all these other B's and C's ahead of that. And he was kind of in the same boat. I think he picked Regieleki just to have a good matchup against me, because otherwise his team has a terrible matchup against me. So that's like kind of the thought process there. Like he can beat up Cobalion stuff, but it's like
you can also do weakness policy Cobalion with Primarina Aqua Jetting.
Yeah. No, that doesn't work. Steel fighting.
Oh, I was thinking Trakian.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been playing with Trakian this week, so
Trakian on the brain.
Immediately, I just assumed that it was the good Swords of Justice.
But the sun part of this team is what's scary. It's the strongest part here.
Groudon Leafeon's a hell of a combination.
There's the fun idea where you can do Groudon and Cinderace. Set your sun, swap Groudon out to Cherim to
and then have
Flower Gift your Cinderace and just
that's
blow
adorable.
Everybody up.
That's adorable. And then be able to have late game Groudon too.
Yeah. The other teams here are slow. This was the I'm going to make everyone my enemy team. Literally sniped and just took everything, all the combos that we had mentioned and talked about for.
To be fair, I believe Monotype League was Slow's first introduction to VGC, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. He's been following me on Twitch forever, and I was streaming one day. He's like, I really want to get into Pokemon. I'm like, conveniently,
I got something for you here.
So he came and joined the Discord. And, he's been there and he's really enjoyed his time. I can tell. But he's picked up on a lot of what people in our Discord like to play.
Oh, so he's figured that out real well.
We have Bisharp Gengar,
yep.
which is just something that we've played multiple times.
Garachu got drafted.
Which is just again, something we've done multiple times now.
They gave him Zacian at pick number 4.
Love it.
He drafted Goodra right before I wanted Goodra. He drafted Shuckle for the meme.
Shuckle's not a meme, man.
No, for the meme that you don't mess with Shuckle.
Trust me, Shuckle is not a meme. It's good.
He also drafted Volcarona for Rage Powder Redirection and has Corviknight here as just a bulky steel type.
Yeah, which, honestly, I was talking to you during my draft, and I'm just like, do I want Corviknight here? And you're like, well, why don't you take Durant? I'm like, I want bulk. I'm like, wait, why would I take Corviknight when I could take Registeel?
Yeah. If you're after bulk, there's better answers than Corviknight. Corviknight obviously removes one weakness but adds another one. So it's just
The thing about Corviknight, obviously you have the electric weakness, which actually is fine on this team because we do have Raichu. You have that lightning rod abuse there.
Yeah.
But you also get recovery from Roost.
Which is important.
Which is a very big thing. Whereas, Registeel is reliant on leftovers. So, Corviknight can carry lefties and just have twice as much recovery, basically. But
yeah. So this next one, I want to mention Ro here before we get on to Yanoken. So, Ro had the opportunity to draft Gigantamax Colossal and regular Urshifu. And a normal Urshifu in that S2 slot. Mm-hmm. Instead, they focused on getting Indeedee female. And then they drafted Hatterene to go with it. Evan and I had talked about this, and the reason he's not higher is he flipped his roles on his Urshifu and Colossal. He got the combo,
Agreed.
But he didn't get the right parts.
I was talking to Ro about this afterwards, and I told him that you and I were not high on regular Colossal. Yeah. Because, in our opinions, Volcalith is what makes Colossal good.
Yeah, the G-Max moves is what makes Colossal good. It's the same thing as what makes Blastoise actually, decent. Is G-Max Cannonade is really strong when there's only 1 or 2 water types on the team. Which is funny here.
Sorry, you keep shaking your arms around.
It's going to pass through.
I catch it on my camera. And
it's going to pass through. It's happened. They know we're in the same room.
But it just throws me off because it's just random hand.
Why I bring this up is because the team right after him got the combo part, got the Colossal, got the Dragapult.
Yep.
Ended up with Terrakion too.
So we have the triple threat here.
Triple threat here of Colossal, Dragapult, Terrakion. You have no idea who's going what, doing what.
I really like Jan's team.
This is why their team isn't the terrifying, because it's just so much up in the air when you're trying to plan. You can plan for Colossal, but if you plan for Colossal, you get blown up by Terrakion. If you plan for Terrakion, you can get blown up by Weakness Pulse, Dragapult, or Colossal, or anything going on there.
We have potential for, Guts Obstagoon, which is something that I'm a fan of. Drampa is a pretty sweet Pokemon that honestly has never seen its light of day.
It will in this one because everyone drafted Weather and Drampa has Cloud.
Yep, which is a big deal. Also has Jinx, which we've talked about.
It's budget Rayquaza.
It really is, man. It's budget Rayquaza with, in my opinion, a better typing.
Drampa was my next pick for B tiers that I wanted, but I just couldn't fit it in my team because I needed the fire type and I wanted Blaziken just to make you jealous because I want a shiny nugget.
Dude, I already had mine.
I have 2. I've got 2. I got a pair of shiny chicken nuggets.
See, I also have 2 shiny Blastoises. So, 2 Blastoises, 2 Serenas. My shiny hunting this week was good for me.
But yeah, that was the terrifying. That's kind of what I really wanted to touch on. The rest of the list will be in the show notes down below.
And if you want to go rank this yourself,
I will leave the link down below.
Yeah, Evan went and made this accessible to everyone. So those teams, man, we really need a website.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Here's the website. Here's all the teams. Go support the teams.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're working to get that in process.
Because then we can just have a giant database of here's how everyone has done historically in draft leagues, and it'd be great.
What did you send me?
This is the team of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, Jiggly sent this to me.
Okay.
I'm like, well, I'm not playing team of the week this week, but Carl is.
I think I had one lined up, but I will...
Did you?
I'm not sure. I know I had a couple people extra signed up beforehand. I will see. I did.
Oh, then yeah. No, I'll save this.
I did have one signed
up. I'll save this then. Don't bother me none. And Jiggly sent it to me. He's like, hey, here's this for laddering this week. I'm like, well, I'm not doing laddering, but Carl is.
Well, then you can save it for that one, and I'll use Captain Unova's team on there instead for this next week, because it's Metagross, and I want to play with Metagross again.
Sick. So yeah, sorry, Jiggly. Sorry, my dude.
2 weeks. You get to be the last one to Series 7, I believe.
No, maybe, I don't know. Because I told Ro I'd play his too. So I might have to split it between the two of them.
I mean, you should have saw the week I played. I played 3 different teams.
I saw. So I might have to. I don't know. We'll figure.
We might have to start playing multiple teams in a week. We were getting so many submissions.
Oh man! Well, the big thing is people have been building teams this week or the last couple weeks because of PC3. So it's we have a bunch of different teams ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it's everyone's giving us teams this week, so we're getting overloaded. Speaking of teams, I've got. Do you want to talk about Naviers? We're gonna leave that one off.
I've already talked about Naviers.
Okay.
Plus, I've already played it, so if you haven't checked out the laddering episodes, go do that because the team is fantastic.
So we will not talk about his, but let's start at the top. So Adam VGC sent me this one. This is the start of their Players' Cup stuff. This is Adam's team. Regieleki, Moltres, Galar, Incineroar, Landorus Therian, Amoonguss, and Single Strike Urshifu. Oh, that's Water Urshifu.
Yeah, that's those are some wet noodles.
Those are some wet noodles. I like Magnet Regieleki the more and more I look at it.
Dude, the big thing about it is, we've talked about this on Discord quite a bit. Eleki there at the beginning of the format, when it first was introduced, was trying to just do hyper offensive things, and people really caught on very quickly that, hey, you can play around this by having priority and just beating it up before it ever gets to do its thing. So Eleki then switched his role to Focus Sash or Light Clay Screens.
Yeah.
Well, now that people know how to play around that, it's kind of circled back around.
Go back the other way.
Yeah. Where now it's a super hyper offensive threat again, this time with, in this case, Transistor Magnet, with Thunderbolt, Electroweb, Volt Switch, Protect. It's
Gonna blow some people up.
Bang!
Like hard. This is a big bang. I wouldn't say that you could probably proc your policy on Moltres with this thing, but
I would not recommend it.
I would not do it. You get both. You get both your Berserker and your policy trigger probably. You get to go to +3, but you won't be there for very long.
No, you're taking a lot doing that to yourself. But honestly, it's actually like the only one of two ways you can actually trigger your own policy here.
Yeah.
The other being this Landers, this Assault Vest Landers, you can technically rock slide yourself.
Can you?
Yes.
Are you allowed to target yourself with that?
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
It would hurt.
I don't think the game lets you.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Because it targets 2 months, you can't target yourself.
So it becomes a single target move.
No, it won't. It won't let you target. It won't let you go down and target that way.
I need you to test this real quick.
I can probably find something.
Here, I literally just pull up shoutout. Now I'll fight with it later. I'm 95% sure
I don't
you
think Sword and Shield will let you. You might be able to on Showdown, but I don't think Sword and Shield will let you. Because that's how they designed most of the other moves for that are 2-way like that.
I don't know, maybe.
When they have 2 targets, when it hits adjacent foes, like Rockslide does, you can't switch targets to hit your adjacent Pokemon.
Weird.
That's specifically because you target yourself when you do that. You can't do that.
Citrus and Sin.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of Shuka the last couple weeks.
Shuka, Agua, Figgy, Citrus, berries on instant has been the common thing here. Because you don't have to worry about Rage Powder as much, like Amoonguss is like the big one. But a lot of the times, if you have Feeny on your team, Amoonguss literally is just like, oh boy, you know what it's going to click. It's going to click Rage Powder because he can't click Spore.
Yep. Unless
you're flying. So you don't have to worry about running Goggles on it. Goggles has been on Rotom Heat a lot, though.
Yep.
Since it has Levitate and can't be grounded. For all that fun stuff. But pick up Parlay Blitz, Snarl, Parting Shot, Standard Incineroar set for the most part.
Yeah.
I've been seeing Darkest Lariat come up more again instead of Snarl.
It's fine. I don't hate it.
I think you Oko Spectre with it.
Probably.
Like, through everything.
Yeah, probably.
Lando T here, just to cycle Intimidate, gives you a way to beat Glacier, gives you a way to beat Red Gigas, kind of, like, if they're not doing wheezing things.
Yeah, pairing the two together, not uncommon. The fact that this is a Assault Vest, so we have U-turn, so we can switch back out, get another one off, fake out, Parting Shot out again, do the thing.
Yeah.
It makes it where you can get consistent chip damage on them while also lowering their stats so they can't hurt you.
Also helps your Sand match up a ton because Incineroar is weak to ground and Landers is not affected by ground. And you can go back and forth and do all that.
Yep.
We talked about Amoonguss a little bit ago. Rage Powder, Spore, Sludge Bomb, Protect. I feel like this is the standard 4 moves now. Like, this is... Sometimes you see Pollen Puff over Protect.
So there was exactly one instance this past week where I wish I had Giga Drain instead. And it's only because I put myself in a position where I had to solo myself against an Excadrill and I couldn't. Because I could not actually damage the Excadrill.
Which, if
granted,
you think about...
I misplayed that game to where I put myself in that position.
Yeah.
But I could have played around it. But had that been Giga, I could have clawed my way back out of it.
Yeah. If you think about it, like, Amoonguss' big issue is tapping Feeny. You're still hitting Feeny super effectively with Giga Drain.
Yep. The big thing is...
You're not getting everything else that's weak, like all the other fairies with it.
The big thing there is Sludge Bomb after a Calm Mind does about 1/3, does about 30-some%.
Yeah.
And if they get a second one off, your damage output just gets so lackluster with Amoonguss.
Granted, your damage output with Amoonguss is lackluster.
Yeah, it's not meant to be a damaging mod. Yeah, it's meant to rage powders for people.
This last one here is I feel like we just need one of the physical water type because we had Regieleki, Moltres, and Amoonguss on this team. Incineroar is like mixed, and Landers is like our only other physical threat, so we needed another physical water type.
Yeah, I don't hate Urshifu here. It seems fine.
Yeah, Urshifu water just fills in a water spot pretty decent well. Surging Strikes hits a lot of stuff. They can't protect through it, so things like Incin and things like Landorus just get eaten up by it. Pulse Combat and Aqua Jet here to round out the moves, plus Detect. Standard Urshifu, I feel like. Okay, that was Adams. I feel like this one's This is a very basic, this is a very solid 6 here. I don't have too many complaints about it. Moving on down the list here, we have Powerdad's team. This is probably one of the more unique teams I've seen.
Yeah, this team's sweet.
So, this one is Rotom Wash, Crobat, Grimmsnarl, Landorus Therian, Galarian Darmanitan, and Spectrier. Where do you want to start with this one? Because I want to start with the Crobat. Crobat is something I really miss, and I really like it a lot. Cross Poison and Brave Bird here are moves you don't normally see.
I have one complaint about this Crobat.
What?
It's the Brave Bird. Focus Sash Brave Bird bothers me. It's my one complaint.
I don't see how.
You break your sash.
You're never going to Brave Bird first with Crobat. You're going to Tailwind first, because you're inner focus, so you don't care about focus. If you get fake outed and then doubled into, you're going to get your Tailwind off anyway, but your sash is already broken. So if they hit you once, because they don't want to waste the fake out, and you get your Tailwind off, then you can free Brave Bird and switch into something that's actually going to do damage.
I'm also trying to think, what instance I would want Brave Bird. What am I hitting with Brave Bird that I'm not already hitting with Cross Poison? We already...
Fighting types?
That's, the one. You can hit... Dark Urshifu is, the big one.
Dark Urshifu, Water Urshifu.
Which, I don't know how much that's going to do, but, when we're also pairing that with, Rotom can take on Urshifu's reasonably okay.
Landorus is a decent counter.
Spectre having Will-O-Wisp can also shut it down effectively.
Grimmsnarl has Reflect.
Yeah. So, I don't see... Well, no, you don't want to Reflect in front of Urshifu.
Well, you want to block the close combats and everything else.
Yeah, but
You're, if they're clicking Wicked Blow and Surging Strikes, whatever, that's whatever. But you need to mitigate the close combats for your Darmanitan.
I feel like a Wicked Blow is still just going to Oko it.
Not if they're Dynamax, no. This is not a super effective hit. I don't think it does if you're Dynamax Darmanitan.
Why would you, though? Your Scarf.
You still do, so you're not locked in.
Yeah, I guess.
That was the thing with Darmanitan. You still are locked in no matter what, but you can still Dynamax because you get your Guerrilla Tactics still.
Gotcha.
I believe you get your Guerrilla Tactics still.
I have no idea on this one, actually. Dynamax Darmanitan was not something I ever played with. I played against it quite a bit back in Series 1 and 2. It was just I'll melt you.
Get him.
Because...
It's pretty obvious when Darmanitan's coming out when it's on the field that you can just blow it up.
Yeah, that was the thing is alright, cool, you're incredibly fast. Bullet punch you. Now you're not anymore.
Yeah, now you're not there anymore. Bye!
That was... Back then, I played a lot of Hitmontop.
Yeah.
It was alright, fake out you, bullet punch you, you're dead. Cool.
Okay. So,
you actually did nothing this game.
Looking at this, I don't like the Spectre set. I don't like Life
Oh,
Orb.
see, I actually love the Spectre
I don't
set.
like Life Orb. I like the moves. I don't like them paired with Life Orb.
See, this is actually a from my understanding, this is one of the more common Spectre builds right now. Is Life Orb with Will-O-Wisp taunt. It seems super weird, but this is something I've seen quite a lot here lately.
The problem I see here is Spectre isn't as bulky when you're max special attack, max speed.
Correct.
Which the Life Orb helps with that, but the reason you run Life Orb is to help pick up KOs with your other moves, Hyper Beam and Mud Shot.
The big thing here is you have no protection for your Spectre. You don't have your friend guard. Yeah, granted, you have Screen Time Grimmsnarl, which can help. Yeah. But definitely
not having a redirector is a big one.
Real painful.
You'd want redirection for Rotom, you kind of want redirection for Darmanitan, you want redirection for Spectre. I feel like if this Landorus wasn't Landorus, you could probably swap in Togekiss or some kind of...
I actually don't hate Indeedee in that spot.
That's another one. I can
something that
can take a ghost type attack and not take damage.
Being able to not only shut off your opponent's priority moves, but also having that redirection would be huge next to Spectre here. Same with Darmanitan. That's a mon that reasonably wants to pick up 1 to 2 KOs before it goes down, and being able to increase its longevity with that redirection is what would make Darmanitan so great.
Yeah. Next up on the docket, Bees. This is their very controlling Perish Trap team.
Love it.
It's the same kind of strategy that we saw that I probably mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago now. The Kingdra team from Japan. It was Kingdra, Politoed, Gothitelle, and Celesteela, and some other bulky controlling mons. And the idea was you pick up like 1 or 2 KOs with Kingdra, and then Gothitelle, Politoed, or Gothitelle, Politoed, Rillaboom, things that have Protect and Perish Song, and just get them that way. So it's Zapdos, Kanto Zapdos with Life Orbs, Hurricane, Thunder, Weather Ball. In fact, this is very much a rain-centric Zapdos. If it's outside of rain, kind of suffer. Like, Weather Ball is the only move that you have that hits 100%. Grimmsnarl here is Fake Tears to boost our Zapdos' damage, also boosts Politoes and Gothitelles with Fake Tears. Also has Reflect and Light Screen and Spirit Break. Politoed here is perishsong.exe. We have Scald just so we have a damaging move so Taunt doesn't completely blow us out of the water because the rest of our moves are Helping Hand, Perish Song, and Protect. Fun things I like to do with the Politoed when I was running Perish Song was I would run Iron Ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I can guarantee underspeed things and make sure I can win if Politoed's the only thing left in the field. Which we don't have to worry about that too much because we have the Sparathorn sitting across from it. Power Whip, Body Press, Iron Defense, Protect. Lefties. I'm not sure how good Ferrothorn is in this format anymore. I feel like he just wanted a grass type, and Ferrothorn fit the bill better than some of the other ones.
Could also be that we wanted the steel type. I think if we wanted a steel type, we could have Steela in that spot.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you wanted a steel type, I recommend Celesteela. It's much better, just stally Pokemon.
The big thing is you're not doubling up on weaknesses with Zapdos there, but you are doubling up on your electric weakness with Politoed at that point then. And Zapdos can't reasonably take those hits either because they are neutral hits.
Yeah.
So I understand the idea of wanting Ferrothorn just to be able to have a switch in from Politoed into it. Because you're not going for a flamethrower or a heat wave into a Politoed, right?
Yeah.
Especially when rain is up. So switching into Ferrothorn then is super safe. Be able to just get it onto the field and start doing its thing is the important thing of Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
It's actually getting it onto the field, I think, is the hardest part.
Not having a steel type coverage move on this thing is kind of...
I would kind of like Gyro Ball. Just Gyro Ball plus... just be like the AV set that was running around there for a hot minute.
We have AV available to us, so having AV on this thing would have probably been a better pull. You get knockoff, you get Gyro Ball, and then you can do Body Press, Power Whip.
If we actually make that AV, then we can put the lefties on Goth as well.
Yeah.
Which I think would actually be A+ there.
I'm not sure if Colberberry helps us survive a Wicked Blow.
I actually don't know the answer to that. Depends
I
on
know
the investment,
it's bulky. It's bulky enough. It might survive with the Colberberry. You might get to survive one, but you can't survive another one. If you had Ally Switch, I would be a little less worried about it.
Agreed.
But not having Ally Switch definitely hinders that process. Psychic, Fake Out, Trick Room, Protect, standard Gothitelle at this point. You honestly could have Protect or Ally Switch in that slot. Last up here is Aqua Berry Snorlax. This is Gluttony Shenanigans with Belly Drum. Body Slam, Darkest Lariat, Belly Drum, Protect. I personally don't like Protect on my Snorlaxes, specifically because I have Belly Drum.
Especially if you're Dynamaxing this thing, Belly Drum becomes Max Guard. You don't need to protect.
You don't need to protect. If you're gonna max this thing, you're going to max this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your max targets are Snorlax and Zapdos. Those are your two. There's no...
That's kind of my problem with specifically this team is you don't have offensive pressure to be able to set up your Perish Song in-game reliably, in my opinion.
Well, Perish Song is the secondary plan. It's I've taken out a couple Pokemon. I can set up Perish Song at this point, and I'm not worried about swaps. I'm not worried about anything like that because they can't do it anymore. It's very reminiscent of the King team, where the only threats on that team were Kingdra and I think Entei. The rest was support mods. And that was it. It's also it's the same problem that the Colossal Perish Trap team has. Your threats are Colossal Glastrier, and the rest of your team is Rillaboom, Incineroar, Azumarill, and Gothitelle. You're all support mons, or not full damage, and then you have two sweepers. So it's very reminiscent of that. It's a very controlling team. So it's you are punished if you misposition against your opponents, but you are rewarded for being able to predict your opponent's moves well and take them out when you need to. After Bees. This is the team that I thought I was going to play. This is CJL's team. This is Colossal Shenanigans, but we have a unique tip here of Credilli, and I believe he dropped his Trick Room Setter for Celesteela. That looks right.
Yeah, that's definitely what he's done.
So, the team's main core here is Dragapult Colossal Blastoise. It's kind of the idea of Colossal gets weakness policy, you can Aqua Jet or Surf it, and then Colossal takes over the game, picks up a couple KOs, and then you have Celesteela, Glastrier, or Credilli in the back, along with one of your other pairings. Like, it's either, I believe, like Credilli Celesteela is a common one, or Credilli Glastrier is a common one for Trick Room, things of that nature. This is also a physical Colossal, which is really cool. Something I was high on when Colossal started being played the first time, just because you get access to Max Quake, which boosts your special defense, along with Rock Slide. Because at the time, Ancient Power was the best special move.
Yeah, it was not great.
It was not great. Now you get Meteor Beam, so now it's like you can run special, you can run physical. Doesn't really matter too much.
My big complaint about Special Cole is outside of Dynamax, all of your moves suck.
You're just a Heat Wave bot. Yeah, like outside of
your
that,
moves are terrible.
If you didn't have Sun Up, you can't really Solar Beam. If you can't Meteor Beam anybody. So the physical Cole gets to do stuff outside of being a Dynamax target. And it doesn't take a ton of damage from Aqua Jet, so you don't have to Dynamax this thing to still get a lot of damage.
Yeah, the big thing of just like taking Aqua Jet and just spam Rock Slide and try to get flinches is a viable plan here.
Yeah. Blastoise, Scald, Ice Beam, Aqua Jet, Fake Out, Torrent, Citrus Berry, just trying to set proc a policy and pick up a couple KOs with it. Dragapult, Screens, Surf, Breaking Swipe, kind of the same situation. I've seen the support Dragapult's doing here is they actually migrate away from having Reflect, and they will
just go Willow,
and they'll have Will-O-Wisp in that slot because it serves the same purpose.
Yeah,
like it helps against Urshifu better. You have Breaking Swipe for those that aren't Clear Body like Metagross, because Metagross has a problem with not having stats drop, so that's why Will-O-Wisp has been an option.
The other big thing about that is Reflect isn't permanent. Granted, you do have Light Clay, so like there's a good chance that if you go Reflect, it's going to be up the entire game. So like the big thing is Reflect is not quote unquote permanent, whereas Will-O-Wisp is until the Pokemon faints. But Reflect also stops it from both Pokemon, compared to needing to hit 2 Willows.
Yeah. Usually it's more there just to like keep Colossal alive against like a random physical water or random physical ground. But a lot of the times you don't have to worry about that too much. Usually people have figured out ways to get around Colossal. One of mine before I decided to drop out of Players Cup 3 was 68 EV plus Nature Max Quake with Life Orb Oko Colossal every time. And you don't have to be max speed investment to outspeed Colossal. You only have to get to 362, which is 244 speed, and that's it. No Nature. So that blows up Colossal every time. Celesteela here is a new addition to the team that I don't know if I like it.
I don't know if I like Life Orb on it. That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know if I would like the like stalling aspect of Celesteela better here, but this could be fine. I really don't know.
I haven't played with it, so I have no clue, but Life Orb Celesteela feels a little backwards because, like, the big thing about Celesteela is just how natural bulky it is. Mm-hmm. And if you're chipping away at your own HP, I feel like that just reduces...
The big thing is, like, you can't be weakness policy here because obviously you need it on Cole.
Yeah.
But, so then it's just like, well, what other items do you run on your Dynamax target? Well, Life Orb is probably the next best one.
Yeah.
So I understand the thought process behind it, and a lot of Celesteela players who are Dynamaxing it, that is their backup item, it feels like. And that's honestly one of the things about Celesteela I absolutely hate playing against. It's just like, okay, what does it do?
Yeah, you never know what's going to do. It's like, either weakness policy, or power herb, or Life Orb, or lefties.
Yeah, like, lefties is the one I want to see, because it's the one I had the most experience against playing.
Yeah.
It's just like everything else is just like, all right, how do I play against this?
That's the cool part.
What do I do here?
That's actually the cool part about Dynamax is like
it adds so much viability to some of the different sets.
Other things. You never see Cradilly in the Dynamax format.
No, not even
this
slightly.
Cradilly is sweet. This is my favorite part of this entire team is the fact that you get to use Cradilly with Storm Drain and Assault Vest, and you just sit it next to Blastoise or Dragapult, and you just keep spamming water moves, and you keep watching your special attack go up.
Yeah, I died to this.
You get to keep blowing people up with it, and it is so much fun.
I can't remember what I was playing, but I definitely died to this. Was it Laddering?
Giga Drain, Meteor Beam, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb.
No, it was the Rumble.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the Rumble. I'm just like, I have no idea how I beat a Cradilly.
You don't. You need Steel, Fighting...
Ice. Ice is the big one.
Ice
4 times.
No. 2
It's
times.
not?
Rock is not weak to ice.
This is stupid.
I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've told you. Ice is not weak to... ice is weak to rock. Rock is not weak to ice.
Stupid.
Rock breaks ice.
Stupid. They're both basically glorified water attacks.
So I'm like, yeah, so I was thinking Fighting, Steel... Rock resists bug, right?
Yes.
Ground is neutral.
Uh-huh.
Fire is neutral. Grass is neutral. Can't hit it with water type move.
Nope.
So yeah. Fighting Steel, maybe, but I can't remember. I know Fighting Steel; those are the big ones. But yeah, it's got good coverage too because it hits water types, it hits fire types, it hits fairy types, it hits other grass types, flying types. Pretty much covers half the format pretty easily. And whatever it doesn't, last year finishes up the rest here. Lumberry last year, which is cool. The things I've been seeing them do with Lum is Swords Dance. They use Swords Dance.
I have seen
That's
this.
the common
It's
one.
adorable.
This one forgoes that and goes all damage moves. Iso Crash, Close Combat, High Horsepower, Smart Strike, just to be as bulky as possible, set up defense boosts and special defense boosts, attack boosts, and sets up hail for chip damage. This was something I was very high on for Players Cup before I decided that I wasn't gonna have time to participate. We're skipping Navier.
Sorry, bud.
We already talked about your team, and the video's out there. Go watch the videos if you want to see what he's playing. This one, I believe this is Paris. Regigigas Weezing, Venucole, no skill. Urshifu, Single Strike, and Tapu Fini.
Get him.
This is just to get him.
Yeah.
You literally just get him.exe. Go get him, blow him up, pick up a couple KOs, bring him the back, blow him up.
Yep. Lead with whatever's good, sweep them with Urshifu or Fini in the back.
Yeah, literally is what this is for. Gigas, Protect. Having Protect, Giga Impact, Ice Punch, High Horsepower here, you have a ton of coverage. You get to boost your special defense on both Weezing and yourself. Weezing is carrying Shuka Berry, which is really good.
Agreed. I like it a lot.
Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp, Protect, Taunt. Like we said, in the draft league, it's super obvious usually what Weezing is going to go for, and you need to be really practiced and have really good calls on what your opponent is actually going to be doing here.
The big thing about Weezing is being able to call turn 1 correctly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you call the Protect on turn 1 and they don't go for it, then you just chipped away at Gigas and it didn't accomplish anything, and they probably crippled whatever your biggest threat is.
Yeah, like Will-O-Wisp and Taunt are just they can stop both setups and physical attackers that Regigigas has a problem with sometimes, like Urshifu. So being able to do that is a big thing. And then we have Venucole here, Venusaurus, Assault Vest, Weather Ball, Leaf Storm, Sludge Bomb, Earth Power, and then Torkoal.
Oh, see, this isn't true Venucole. Because there's no sleep powder on this Venusaur. You can't just spawn them.
That's the cool part of Venusaur. You don't have to have sleep powder on your Venusaur. That's the cool part. You don't have to have it. Because with all the Tapu Finis running around, Sleep Powder gets worse.
Agreed.
You also have your own Tapu Fini. So it's like Sleep Powder, you just don't care. You just want to blow them up.
Blow them up. That's good enough for me.
Torkoal here is Yawn, Burning Jealousy, Protect, and Body Press. I have no complaints about this set. I think this is the optimal Torkoal set. Having a secondary way to burn physical attackers and other Dynamax ones because they just set up instead of dropping stats. Because that's kind of like what we've gotten to now at this point. Everything has Defiant or Competitive anymore, so you want to avoid dropping stats. So everybody runs, like this Gigas here. I've seen Gigas run some, I think it's Darkest Lariat.
Yep.
To drop special defense. They stopped doing that because then Thunderous just blows you up.
Yep.
Because it's in that Ice Punch slot.
Well, the big thing is, like, specifically in that instance, you have Weezing out. So
yeah. It
like,
doesn't
you're
matter.
not going to trigger your Defiant because it doesn't exist.
It's just like, if it's post thing, it's just like, they can get around Weezing and blow up Weezing, then it's just like, all I have is the start move to hit you with because I don't have Ice Punch. Which, that's the slot. It's always like Giga Impact, High Horsepower. It's like Snorlax. It's like, I want the normal move, but I want Ground, and I need something in the start slot. And it can be Ice Punch, Iron Head, Darkest Lariat. What other max moves does this thing has access to? There's a ton. I can't remember any of them now. And then we have Urshifu and Tapu Fini here. Pretty standard sets. Wicked Blow, Close Combat, Sucker Punch, Protect, and then Protect, Calm Mind, Muddy Water, and Bless. These are basic Urshifu and Tapu Fini doing their thing, supporting this team.
Sync just posted on Discord that he's still without power.
Oh, goodness.
It's only been a mere 48 hours.
That's
it's like,
insane.
man, that's rough.
Yeah. So this is Penguin's team. He last minute swapped.
Penguin, we need to talk, man. We need to talk about this.
This team.
Stop doing that to yourself.
This is Whimsicott with Eject Button, Regieleki Light Clay, Incineroar with a Guava Berry, Tapu Fini with Weakness Policy, Eviolite Porygon 2, and AB Glastrier. This Whimsicott Eject Button thing's cute. Also having Worry Seed to remove Weezing's neutralizing gas is adorable.
That's super adorable.
Which then, it's so cute because it's just like, you think Worry Seed's really good to like help your Gigas, but it actually just like turns off Weezing. Also turns off Justified, which is super good.
Yep. Which is why you just Aqua Jet into your Tracheon and go bang instead.
That's when they can just switcheroo you and give you an eject button, and then you proc your own eject button and you get kicked out.
Dude, that's actually the play here. Is instead of Worry Seeding the Weezing, you just switcheroo it.
You switcheroo fake at it and just.
No, don't do that one.
Oh,
Fake
yeah,
out
fake
goes
out
first.
Yeah.
Trust me, I tried that with Kanga for a while. So then the play was switcheroo Sucker Punch him.
Well, that may not work on Weezing because it may not attack.
Yeah, well, in that instance. But the Gigas won't.
Maybe.
How's the Gigas hunt going on?
We're like 600 at this point.
It might be higher than that.
I don't think it's higher than that. I've been kind of slow at while we're recording here. This weakest policy Tapu Fini is what interests me the most. How are we procking this thing?
Eliki.
That's gonna hurt.
That's the best I got.
That's
Or your
gonna
opponent.
hurt.
Your opponent's another good option.
If they do that at all, but not everyone expects weakest policy Tapu Fini, so that's fine. I like the Porygon set. Tri-Attack Shadow Ball has been like the go-to at this point. Like, there's more. When Spectre got popular, having Shadow Ball on your Porygon is the way to hit it. It's good. And then being able to Dynamax Porygon and just like max strike people is also good. Incineroar here, this is what I was talking about. This is like, instead of Snorlax, you're playing Darkest Lariat.
I think I like Snarl more.
It depends on what your team's doing. This Incineroar needs to be damaged because we have Whimsicott, Eleki, and Porygon too.
So there's Glastrier there.
It has the problem of...
Oh, okay. The other...
These are supports,
and
now we need more damage. This is what it does. It's like it's fake out party shot, but then it's actually physical damage.
Yep. And see, this is the thing of... We have Screen's Eleki here.
Yep.
Like, you don't know what this thing is doing until it clicks a move on turn 1.
Yep.
Which is why the correct answer when you see it is to clap it and bang it.
Yeah, just clap it and
get
blow
it out
up.
of there. It can't do anything if it's dead.
This Blaster AV set is just the same as the Blaster I just talked about. Ice, Crash, Close Combat, Heavy Slam, High Horsepower, Ground, Steel, Fighting, Ice. Common sets here.
Yeah. I'm going to beat Penguin, though. I swear he's probably swapped like 3 times this week, if not more.
This next team is being played by a couple people. I know this as Rose's team, like at the start. Someone else sent me and said that I shared this with them. I was like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. I'm pretty sure it might have been Carter or Ro. I'm not sure.
Nope, I haven't shared it with anyone.
But I know Ro's been hyping this team up a lot. Whimsicott, Moltres, Galar, Mamoswine, Cinderace, Nihilego, Tapu Fini. Items are not where you expect them.
Oh, no. No, not even slightly.
This is an AV Cinderace, which is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the Life Orb Mamo. Focus Sash, Whimsicott, Power Herb, Nihilego, Citrus Berry, Tapu Fini, Weakness Policy, Moltres. You're hoping that they hit you. You get Ice Shard with Mamoswine, but it really hurts.
But see, that's okay because then you get in Berserk range sooner.
We had the same problem with the Regieleki Volt Switch. We have the same problem.
It works. It's not stupid if it works.
I'm not sure how much this Mamoswine does to your Galar.
A lot.
But yeah, it's going to hurt.
I remember, if this is specifically Rose team,
this is
super, super bulky Moltres.
Yeah, I compared them, and this is the 156, whatever nonsense special attack set that he's been running for a while. This Whimsicott, though, means with Fake Tears means we don't have to go as big with Moltres as we need to. Being able to just Fiery Wrath and Fake Tears every turn is just also fine. This also helps set up Nihilego with Power Gem. Power Gem not being one of the strongest Rock-type moves in the format. I think it's 80. The
big thing there is it lets you click a Rock-type move after you've used your Power Herb.
Yeah.
That's the big thing there. Plus, Nihilego can just go big next to Whimsicott. Like, you can go Tailwind, Meteor Beam on 1 into Fake Tears, Dynamax. Now I'm at +2. Now I'm at +3. Okay, you're dead. Like,
just gonna keep hitting
you're
that
at -2. I'm already at +1. Sludge Bomb you. Now I'm at +3. You're dead.
Bang, bang,
Are we
bang,
done
bang,
here?
bang. Yeah, just keep firing off the gun. Basic Tapu Fini set with Citrus Berry, Muddy Water, Moonblast, Protect, Calm Mind.
I don't remember Ro playing Fini. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yes,
Yep, definitely. Because my answer, we played a best of 3 the last week because I played him twice in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And we split it, and I was terrified for game 2 because I thought he had Fini in the back. My only solution to him bringing out Moltres to put it to sleep. I'm just like, I swear if you have Fini in the back, I'm dead. And then I'm like, wait, Moltres is flying. It's fine. It works. And then I only got a 2-turn sleep and I died.
So yeah, this is, I think we've talked about this a couple times at least now. Mamoswine here, Ice with Crash, High Horsepower, does a lot of damage, hits Lando very hard, hits Moltres very hard, takes care of Dragapult, takes care of Cole, kind of. I think if you go big and they don't expect you to go big with Mamoswine, and they hit the wrong move, I think Mamo can take out the Colossal in return. This Cinderace with Assault Vest is the cool part here. High Jump, Kick, Bounce, Powerball, Iron Head, Libero. Obviously, we get to do all this type switching stuff. Having AV means we don't go down to just like a ham sandwich all the time.
Yep, you actually get to live a ham sandwich, which is not common.
Yeah, no, it's not common with this one. Whereas Nihilego, you need to avoid a lot of hits with Nihilego in general. But yeah, this is Paris and not Paris. Chrissy V and Ro are playing this one that I know of, and I might maybe a couple others. I'm assuming. Last one here is the last minute submission. Swede sent this to me just before we got started today. This is called Wade, WAID. What am I doing? I know this as Nabad 2.0. Last year, Rillaboom, Heatran, Pheromosa, Moltres, and Raichu. So the idea here is we have Speed Swap Pheromosa to make our Glastrier super duper fast. We also have Quick Guard to protect, say, like a Moltres or a Heatran or a Rillaboom from opposing Fake Outs and Grassy Glides and things like that. We also have Raichu with Air Balloon, Brick Break, Nuzzle, Fake Out, Protect. Brick Break super important. The screens are important. It's a very good counter to opposing like Grimmsnarls, opposing Regielekis, things like that. Moltres here with Hurricane. That's usually my first red flag when I see Hurricane on your Moltres without having like a decent way to set rain on your team. Meaning you are playing the luck game every time because this thing gets access to Air Slash.
Yep.
Like you get a special flying move that's not Hurricane. So it's just like that's always my first big red flag that comes up. The rest of this team here: Heatran, Heatwave, Earth Power, Flash Cannon, Protect, Shuka Berry. This is standard Heatran. Rillaboom's Miracle Seed. You should be Rosen Sense because it's more optimal. Grassy Glide, Fake Out, Swords Dance, Protect. So you can go to a +2 to deal with almost anything with Grassy Glide priority. And then Glastrier is the same Glastrier as we've talked about, I think, like 4 or 5 times now. Ice Crash, High Horsepower, Heavy Slam, Close Combat.
Not true. This one is Assault Vest, which I know a couple have been, but there was one Lumberry in there.
Yeah, which is the same. It's the same 4 moves, and
It's
I'm
the
pretty
exact
sure it's
same.
max HP, max attack, min speed. Well, yeah, those would probably want to be at least 31 speed, not minus nature. That way, Pheromos isn't completely useless afterwards. But yeah, that's kind of what this team does. There's no real good way to... You can nuzzle your own Moltres. I don't like that plan.
It's not good. I would not do that.
I would not do that. If you had Bolt Switch, you could probably do that. That's fine.
The big thing here with like these Moltres sets that don't have way of triggering it, people have learned to play around it.
Yeah.
The only time you're getting hit by a super effective move is when it's gonna go down.
Yep. So
at least that's my line of thinking anymore. Until I know that this Moltres isn't Life Orb, like the moment I see that it's not Life Orb, I immediately assume it's weakness policy, and I completely ignore it until I can kill it.
That's kind of what's happened with this format in general. It's like if you don't see Life Orb damage or you know it's not AV, like an AV Mon, it's weakness policy 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
Like, just ignore it. Citrus Berry Moltres has been popping up too, which plays around that really well.
Lets you get double Berserk triggers.
You can do double Berserk triggers, and you get to run Nasty Plot if you can set up a Nasty Plot in front of people too, because they don't want to hit you. With
get the +3 that way.
Like so.
Instead of Dynamaxing, you just
Nasty Plot, let them hit you, go down to half, eat your Citrus Berry, and then you get to go big.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's all of these PC3 teams. You want to talk about yours, or do you just want to?
It's the same thing we've talked about for like 3 weeks now.
You can leave it in the dark.
Yeah, it's Kanto Squad, man. We've talked about it before. I think we talked about it last week.
Not very much, so, but yeah.
Oh well. So super quick rundown. We have all 3 of the Kanto starters.
Uh-huh.
All 3 of which are special attackers. And yeah. So naturally, the big comparison there is like, well, 2 of the 3 really like Sun, so let's put Sun on. And they all like Tailwind, so let's put Tailwind on. And they all like Fake Tears because they're all special attackers. Whimsicott has all 3 of those abilities.
Look at that!
It's just like, okay, how do we run this out? Okay, 2 of them are weak to electric, so let's slap on Raichu for Lightning Rod. Okay, we need a Trick-Room Sweeper. Here's Rhyperior.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That was literally the team building process.
It was built in like 30 minutes, and there you go.
And it's been great. I have absolutely loved the team. I played the Rumble we had on Friday. I think I finished like 7th.
Can't remember.
I can look it up, but I don't care.
We didn't get a graphic made up for it this time, but it was a kind of short notice.
It was kind of impromptu.
We wanted to get more practice for Players Cup people. So
shout outs to Gil winning it all, getting a shiny Mudkip out of me.
Yep.
So now I'm down a shiny Mudkip. I had to go find one again. Darn.
Darn. Yeah. Not playing this time. I've got 40 hours this week at work, plus trying to keep up with videos, and I've got a million other things I gotta get done this week still. So
you'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Currently shiny hunting Regigigas for Draft League. Been doing that this entire time. I don't know if anybody's heard the vibrations from the Switch every time Regigigas yells. They might have. They might not have. I don't know.
See, that's why you stop it before he yells. You can see if it's shiny before then.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm not paying attention.
Damn.
You wanted it to be shiny that time.
Yep. I did.
I want to be done. We'll probably be at odds tomorrow afternoon. Once I get off work and sit here and just edit videos for an hour and a half.
Do this while editing.
Yeah, all I gotta do is just one-handed hit A for a million times, and then when it's not it, hit home, hit Y, hit A, and go back in.
Yep.
If I could get the little dongle to do that, the little Arduino, it'd do it for me.
But it can't.
It can't. It can auto A.
It can auto A.
I can set up a macro on a controller to do this.
Do it. Get your macro controller out.
I ain't got a macro controller.
I tried.
I tried to find one when I bought that. I tried to find a macro controller.
These dongle companies need to sponsor me because I probably sold 7 of them.
They're great. They're great.
Dude, I cannot recommend it enough because, especially for Draft League, you can grind infinite watts.
Yep.
Which is great because then you have infinite money.
Yep.
Which then lets you have infinite
vitamins.
Yeah, vitamins.
Infinite TRs, infinite anything
whatever.
You
need. You can set it and it'll breed for you.
Yep.
It's all right, cool. Here's my 6 IV Ditto, my 6 IV Mon. Breed. Okay, this is the correct nature one. Cool.
Take that one, or if you're shiny hunting, oh look, a shiny.
Yep.
So that's the cool part about it. It's you can, while you're at work, you switch runs. I wouldn't let it run for more than a day at a time.
Yeah, who would do that?
I wonder.
I haven't had my Switch crash on me lately.
It's not good. If it's crashing at all, that's not
I had it happen one time, and I come in and it says I can't remember what it says up top. I'm just oh, that's not good. We're going to turn you off for 3 days. I've ran you for a week straight. You probably need some time off.
Yeah. I usually will start it when I go to work, and then I come back from work, and whatever I was doing is done, and I can start the next process. That's how I got my Torchics. So yeah, these little dongle things, it's called the Switch Up 2. I don't remember.
It's great. Cannot recommend it enough.
I think, how much was it,
$20?
$20, yeah. And it does more than things for Pokemon. I believe they have something for Animal Crossing. They have something for...
Oh, do they have AC
there's
stuff?
Something for...
I didn't know that.
I believe it does stuff for Animal Crossing. You set your island up in a certain way. There's stuff for Super Mario Odyssey. There's stuff for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This does so many things. It's got so many different little clicks on it, and you can buy updated ones, I believe, and there's updated ones and do updated things.
So we have a couple results here. Bees is currently 4-1.
Damn!
Yeah.
That's the parish control team.
Yep. The one that I was not too high on, but nope.
Anybody else playing?
That's the only result I see. I see a couple people playing, but I don't have any definitive results.
Okay.
I know Powerdad's gonna stream tonight. I believe he said
here
8:30 EST, so about an hour.
Yeah, in about an hour from now.
Which I might throw him on the phone and just watch him. So I don't have football to watch.
Here's the fun thing is I have my alarm clock set for an hour for EST time now because I have so many people for Draft League in EST time zone. So I have that set so I know what time it is there if I ever have to contact somebody, so I'm not contacting them midnight when it's actually only 11 at my time.
Yep.
Or 6 a.m. when it's 7 a.m., things like that. People like to sleep in. Not me. But,
what's sleeping in?
Exactly. I don't do that anymore.
Me sleeping in is 8:30. I think this morning I slept until 8:30. I'm oh my god, half my day's wasted. Because we stayed up till 1:30, 2 o'clock last night watching TV.
Yeah.
It's man, I want to be up at 8 so I can actually get stuff done for PC3 because I've been getting my stuff together all day and finally got it done.
Yeah.
It's well, okay. And then, of course, Tiff wanted to dye her hair today, so it's just
you need to be up here early because Kayla wanted to do that super early.
And then we just sat around and lounged while they did that. I've been playing Heart Gold, getting that, grinding. Yeah. I've been grinding for Morty while you grind for Geekus.
Yep. I will get this thing. I'm dedicated to this now. Even if I don't get it for Draft League, I'm just gonna...
Yeah, but see, it's not gonna have the Sinnoh mark on it, so who cares?
I do.
I also would be jealous, yes.
Yes, I'm pretty sure everyone would be because it'd be a beast ball.
Speaking of Sinnoh, I saw, before we started recording...
Here, let me just pull up the book page. I have it edited on here.
Yeah, Centro Pokemon Leaks. If you don't follow them on Twitter, highly recommend it because they are a very, very good resource when it comes to Pokemon leaks. Very trusted with what they say. I cannot stress them enough. Cannot stress enough how accurate their stuff has been in the past.
Yeah, they're usually pretty spot on when it comes to this stuff.
They posted before we started recording that Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes are coming to the Switch this year.
Well, they're in development for this year. They may, depending on COVID protocol and things like that, they may get pushed back to 2022. But it'd be early 2022, not late 2022.
If you want to scroll down here for me, in this article that they posted that we will have down in the show notes as always, they talked about how, granted, this article is in Spanish. This is Google translating it for us so we can actually read this. It says, the Pokemon Company plans to officially reveal the remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl for Nintendo Switch in February, according to sources close to the company. In addition to the new installment, which will be different from Pokemon Let's Go, the remake of Kanto released in 2018, maintaining the classic Pokemon capture style, according to the Pokemon Center. So, this is not a Let's Go remake. This is going to be an actual main series remake game. And honestly, I'm pretty sure we all saw this coming.
Yeah, we were expecting this, right? This is the next one in line. This is what we were expecting.
It was just a matter of, is it this year or is it next year?
Yeah, it was just like, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do a Let's Go game, or do you want to do a remake main series game like this one?
Because that's been the history. It's where it's been. We have in 2017 we had Alola decks. In 2019 we had national decks with no restricted. In 2019 we had restricted formats.
Yeah.
So that's been the 3-year cycle. So where does this fit into that cycle then? Do we have it for this year and then we push back where we get national decks this fall, or do we go into restricted decks when this game comes out for VGC? So it's interesting. I can't say I'm surprised to hear this. I figured they would have some type of announcement for Pokemon Day. I know this morning we got the announcement that Snap is coming out on the 30th of April.
Super excited for that.
Cannot stress enough how excited I am to actually play. Are we? Let's.
I already called it.
Are we playing? Are we? Let's playing it.
Yes.
Okay.
Dibs.
That means I can stream it all.
Yeah, you can do that. I get dibs for the YouTube. I get
That's fine.
stuff because I've been excited.
Stadium will probably be done by that.
I hope so.
That comes out.
I was like, I want Stadium to be done before that, so I could play Snap in here.
Probably. I don't know if I'm going to have a Stadium episode for this week because with PC3 being tonight, tomorrow, I'm going to be streaming it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to actually have a Stadium episode for this week.
If you fit it in early tomorrow, you could.
Well, that's the thing is I have to record Laddering tomorrow. I have to record it if I'm doing it, and then I'm going to stream. So I don't know.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
You got what, like 3 matches left for Master Ball? 4 matches left for Master Ball?
5?
I can't remember.
I don't know, man.
It's not a lot. Just hit like 2 matches in and you'll be fine. Leave some suspense because I'd like to end it in like January, like end of January here in like the next couple weeks. And then February, we can start Snap. Because that's going to probably take me 2 months.
Oh, see, I still have quite a bit left for Stadium. Because I have Adventure Master Ball, I have 4 cups of Prime Cup, and then I have Little Cup.
I ain't worried about Little Cup.
Honestly, Little Cup sounds awful because I would have to breed everything for it.
Yeah.
Which, I am not going to lie to y'all, that sounds absolutely awful.
What's Prime Cup?
Level 100s.
Ah. Do you have to level your stuff up to 100?
Yes.
Which is why... It doesn't do it for you?
No, because the last time I did it, I used all Kanto bonds because I just missing node my way into it. Because I can't do that with Johto bonds that I know how to do.
Yeah.
So, we might see a revision of the team I've been playing for Poke Cup. It's like, all right, Electabuzz up to 100, Alakazam up to 100, Victory Bell.
Just everyone up to 100.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, we need to replace exactly Typhlosion, which I can change that to Charizard or Magmar and be fine.
Yeah.
And I already have Magmar at 100, so like that's no big deal. I did see someone suggest Fissure on Machamp, which like I'm not against.
I would hate that.
That might be something I do as a swap. Who knows? We'll figure it out.
But yeah, I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of nothing else.
Get us out of here?
I think so. Time to go eat breakfast.
Yeah.
So, as always, everyone, thank you very much for listening. Make sure if you haven't already done so, you go follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at CardinGlobal25, Carl at musical_33. Carl and I are both on Twitch as well. You can follow. You can find me this week or this past week, depending on this past week for PC3 at Mr. Missouri 25. Carl is at Musical. We have our Discord server. Cannot stress that enough. I love our Discord. Come and join it. It's the best way to keep in touch with us. We are on there basically 24/7.
One of us is awake.
Yeah,
usually.
basically all hours of the day. Past that, we have YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live. Smash that like button and comment down below how you did for PC3. I'm interested.
I like to see how many people did, how many people qualified.
Granted, we won't know qualifications for a couple weeks, but
you can guess most of the time.
Yeah, you can guesstimate.
Yeah, like a high 1700 is a lock. 1700 is probably a lock, and 1600s probably has you flirting with the very bottom, like 1670 is probably that right there.
So yeah, interested in hearing how everyone does there. If you're listening to the audio version, make sure you go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live, hit that like button. Yeah, everything I just said, do it again. So that's it, everyone. I think I think we hit everything. Last one. Gigas? Shiny Gigas?
No.
Nope. Alright, well. Alright, everyone. Have a good one. Peace.